What's good if you're new? Welcome back if you're old. Today, we ran into some speed bumps. Those speed bumps being this guy. He gave out on us again. So we had run into an initial problem where this clip was missing. So this pin had exited the building, stage left. There was no way to pump this up and down. However, now this piston has decided to fail. So that happened. Everything component-wise seems to be fine, but I was able to completely swap all the old parts over to the new engine. So that was gonna be the video. However, this jack I can show you, let's see. Actually, I'll put you all up here. So with very minimal effort, if you were to lift this, it should stay, right? And hold an engine. However, if I push, you see it slowly goes down. That's an issue when you're holding an engine that's like 400, 500-ish pounds. Doesn't make for a good lift.
Sure
so
about
we'll have
that?
to get a new one. So in the meantime, we're gonna do something else. And that something else would be our interior. Now, if you remember in my interior video, I did the door cards and I updated the leather. Now, I really like this leather. It doesn't perfectly match with the seats, so at some point I'll probably switch those to either black or refreshed leather that's similar to this. I think black could work. It might clash, I'm not sure, but we'll see in the future. However, I wanna do these pillars and I wanna do the headliner. What most people don't know is that the sciontC actually came with 2 sunroofs, kind of like a moonroof situation. And that's probably the only problematic thing, but I always have these open, so I don't think it's gonna be an issue. Because these pieces, no idea how to replace that. However, what pieces? So what I'm planning on doing is redoing the headliner, the pillars, these pillars too, all in the same leather that I did those guys. I don't know about y'all, but personally, I hate working on really anything when I'm not comfortable. So I brought all these to my office to get started on work. That way, while they're drying, I can chill, I can game, hang out, and be peaceful. What I did notice is that this plastic, I might have mentioned this already, but the plastic, all the parts, headliner, A, B, C pillars are all plastic, even the ones with fabric on them. So what I noticed is I can just peel those off like a sticker. However, with the headliner, it is not that way. There might be a plastic piece internally. However, underneath it is still like a fabric composite situation. But as you can see, I couldn't quite get everything cleaned up, so I'm just gonna peel this gray layer off, and it comes right off. It's actually surprising how easily it comes off, which gives me some confidence when I am about to put a new thing of fabric on top of it. I just wanted you guys to get a better idea of how this was going. Keep in mind, this car is an 06, so this is very crusty. However, when it's done, I think I'm pretty safe by saying it's the nicest sciontC interior of any 2006 Scion, and I'm okay with it. And what I'm attempting to do now, roughly, is all of the pieces that came off in this fashion, I'm using them as a template. So ignore this for now, or that. But we have this piece here, and inside of it, we have one of those stickers that I was talking about. Obviously, it's not an actual sticker, but it tells me how much fabric that I need so that I don't get wasteful. I know that I need at least this much. I'll cut it right along that so that I'll have enough to fold inside of the piece that's being held. So most of the pieces, they are rounded and then you can tuck. So that's what that's for. Trash, and ideally we'll do this with the headliner as well. All right, so we got our template laid out, and it's not gonna be perfect, and that's okay. What I do wanna do is make a little slit in both of these so that when I glue everything down onto the actual headliner, there's space for me to cut out the extra. And I'm not sure, honestly, I'm probably gonna have to go back to the store to get more fabric. That's okay. This fabric is only $14.99 a yard, I believe. So I'm not losing too much. I'm not breaking the bank with this little side project. I just really want this to come out as good as it possibly can. And the door cars went flawlessly. I was honestly surprised with myself, and that's why I felt so confident in basically doing the entirety of the rest of the car. I've never upholstered anything in my life. I've seen my mom decorate and crochet, but beyond that, your boy hasn't touched it. So this is quite the undertaking. But the payoff, it's so satisfying seeing your car in a new light, and that's good enough for me. I'm trying to make sure everything stays as flat as possible. We know it's not going to be perfect, but the closer we get to perfect on this first cut, the less we have to adjust when we're gluing it down. All right, now that we've made that template, and it's a very rough template, you're gonna have to cut additional holes for each little cure section where a clip goes in, a headlamp goes in, what do you call these things? I call them ocean bars, but those handle things, to be politically correct, those handle thingies. We'll have to cut out little bits for those so that you're not impeding on it when you go to put this headliner in. But you can do that once you've glued everything down. You can feel for the hole.
Doc, what do you mean by that?
It should be good. I'm gonna time lapse this bit until all these pieces are leathered out and ready to go back into the car. Take a break because I just heard baby wake up. I'm just gonna get the trim off. Once we trim the fat here, we will go take care of baby. That side has a lot extra. It's not a bad thing. We just want to make sure that we don't cut too much off, because if you cut too much off, you can't go back. But extra is perfectly fine. Extra is good. That means we can do more things, potentially. I'm cutting it very cautiously because I don't know how I'm going to have to fix this little bend in here later. I might wait until one side dries and then peel it off or something, but for the moment it's not laying smoothly how I want, which is a little upsetting. But I know that at the end of the day this clip is going to come back in here and cure it in that section, so it's not too big of a concern. But we want to get as close as possible on the first run. That way, when we follow it up, there's not too much to fix. It's still a little wet underneath, so that means we still got time to adjust. It's really this little bubble sending me, because you saw me put glue on it, right? I saw me put glue on it. So why is there a bubble? Just hold it tight there for a minute. Remember, bubbles and creases are not your friend. They ruin the whole project. I think I might paint these black, because gray, they're a little ugly, but I'll save that for another time, not in this video. Maybe it won't matter, but we will follow up these pieces one by one. We'll let that dry a bit. We have the headliner is going to take a bit longer because it has to dry. It's a bigger piece, obviously. These pieces are straightforward as can be. It's just one clean cut, fold it over, done. However, I didn't initially intend to do these pieces, so this is way more extra than I planned to have. Which means before I'm done, I'm gonna have to go back to the Hobby Lobby, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I don't know how I'm gonna do that one, but I will wrap this up and I will show y'all the finished project when I'm done. I think you guys are gonna love it.
An hour later.
seatbelt slides in like way back here. That looks so good. Little mistake there, but you see the vision. It's flowing. The big finale, the headliner. I'm not going to record that part because it's going to be too labor intensive, but when I'm done, I'll do a nice little cinematic of all the bits in. But as you can see, it already looks 1,000 times better. We have this guy, this wraparound. We have those pillars on the inside. And then I painted this side and that side. And then of course we have the doors that I did a whole video on. And that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for the headliner. Well, that's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed interior part 2. Hopefully we get a proper lift for this thing this week, but I have a big surprise coming up. I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not even gonna hint towards it, but definitely one to watch. Not gonna want to miss it. But yeah, thanks for watching, y'all. Oh, I'm so tired. That took a lot out of me. But my name's Jay. Thanks for watching again. Stay cruising.